Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Swinging at Shins, your favorite Premier League podcast. Here we are again. This time it is only Aaron and I. Woodsy's off deciding to get married, or I don't know, some such cool thing. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about refs, like always. Our favorite topic of conversation.
I'm sure everybody loves hearing about more ref stuff.
They're taking over the Chelsea portion of the podcast.
That's
Although
true.
Chelsea's making a strong comeback for the Chelsea portion of the podcast. I want to talk about, obviously, Arsenal versus United, the big match of the weekend.
Definitely.
However, also Brighton versus Newcastle, not how I thought anyone thought that one was going to go down.
No, I think it was overshadowed personally, just based off of the dramatics of how the Arsenal United match went. But the Brighton match was just as important,
if not more important, and also I think actually more surprising.
Yeah.
Spurs win again. Win big.
Ange ball, baby.
Yeah, this isn't the one. We talked about that. This is the one that's making me think we have to start talking about Ange ball. It's been the last couple of results. This result certainly doesn't hurt. 5-2 win away at Burnley doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I brought up when we were at the beer garden, like, we might need to start talking about Ange on the pod. Because, wow. Anyway, let's do a rundown of last week's results. Luton Town 1, West Ham 2. A little bit of a scare. Finally had a home match.
Yep.
So there was that. Good for them.
It looked nice, the stadium. I don't know if you watched that match at all. It's kind of neat because they were like 3 inches from, not literally, figuratively. The camera was like 3 inches. So imagine Bournemouth matches, but much closer.
Oh, yeah. That was part of the problem. They couldn't get higher enough up. That was part of what they had to do.
You could hear the managers give tactics as not during stoppages or anything like that, but yeah, it's neat.
Sheffield United and Everton 2-2 draw. I don't know. It's to the point where that's almost like, oh, that's not surprising from the two teams that I would expect to get relegated.
The championship teams?
Yeah, 2 championship teams. Brentford Bournemouth also with a 2-2 draw.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little surprising to me. Brentford seems to be punching below their weight this year.
Well, Ivan Toney not being there kind of hurts. Finding goals kind of hurts.
Nottingham Forest 1, Chelsea 0 at the Bridge.
Yeah.
Surprising.
Massive win for Forest, but we'll get into it.
Maybe shouldn't have been surprising, but surprising. I mean, Forest, if you're gonna expect to stay up, you got to get points away at mid-table teams.
Yep.
That's just where we're at right now. City put up a 5 spot against Fulham.
Yep.
Brighton Hove Albion 3, Newcastle 1. I'm looking here, 0 points for everyone. None of us had that.
No.
Crystal Palace 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers 2. Kind of how I expected that match to go. Not quite as many goals, but
Yes, I do.
Liverpool 3, Aston Villa 0.
Not how I thought that was going to go. But I got nothing else to really talk about on that one. I'll put something out for the Villa fella.
All right. And then Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1. An offside goal in the 89th minute.
Oh,
and
yeah.
2 goals after the 95th minute.
Michael Jackson, man. He got hit with the Thriller.
There you go. That hurt. Anyway, moving on. Let's go right into the Arsenal United match. Lots been said about this match. Arsenal seemed to be very comfortable with them having the ball in their half, especially in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely different tactics from both sides. You could tell that United wanted to play on the break. I think Erik ten Hag has come out and said as much. He wants United to be the best counterattacking team in the league. And I got to tell you, after a while, it looked like that was working.
It's kind of I'm not a fan of the counterattacking style because it's boring as hell. But if it works, it works. If that's how you're built around that. So Because it just
However, right now you do have to be asking, is it working? They sit 11th. They have 6 points through 4 games. And they immediately, after scoring, let a goal in.
what was it? Will would always say, first 5 or 10 minutes of you scoring a goal, you have to be on your guard because that's usually when the next goal happens against you.
Oh, you relax. We're up.
Yeah,
we're up. It's fine.
Yeah,
yeah. You get that relaxation going. It was a mess. It was. Let me put it this way. I actually missed the first Arsenal goal.
It was whiplash.
Rashford scored.
Yeah.
And I had showed up for the Liverpool match. And then right after the Liverpool match, we had a board meeting. And then right after that, it was like we did a board meeting all the way up to the start of the Arsenal match. So I was ready to go. I had a call from nature. Phone was ringing off the hook.
No.
Rashford scored, and I was like, screw it. By the time they're done celebrating, I'll be back. I'm walking out of the stalls, and I just hear the whole place erupt. And then I come out to see Odie celebrating, and I was like, holy crap. That was how quickly Arsenal responded. Got to say, phenomenal goal by Rashford.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, it was,
yeah. Ramsdale got a hand to it, too.
Yes, he did.
Ramsdale got a hand to it, and it just...
David Reyes saves that.
I don't know about that. Maybe. It's interesting to be Rashford right now and just think... excuse me. Just think, like, look at... it was working perfectly. Right up to the second it wasn't.
Yeah.
Then we had the penalty call that was taken away at VAR. I agree that wasn't a penalty. I am more mad at Havertz. Not like I'm not one of these Arsenal fans who's mad at Havertz. For me, it's if you had stayed on your feet more, Casemiro would have taken you out. We would have got a penalty anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't stay on your feet, and Casemiro didn't take you out. And what Wan-Bissaka did, that was nothing. But I bring that up because Erik ten Hag was complaining about the refereeing in the match constantly. VAR shouldn't be involved. It was clear he was onside for the Garnacho goal, even though it was clear he wasn't onside.
Yeah.
But VAR worked out in their benefit. We both got a goal taken away potentially. Yep. We didn't score a goal from the penalty. We got a penalty taken away. You got the Garnacho goal taken away. Beautiful. Speaking of thriller moves, Michael Jackson. Mm-hmm. That was a beautiful move by Big Gabby.
No, that's what I was getting at.
The commitment, the absolute commitment. Because you're not catching up to him.
No, he's gone.
If you don't catch him offside, he's gone. Did you see the alleged Johnny Evans foul going on during the Declan Rice goal?
I had to rewatch it, and I was it Woodsy that sent the post, or was it you that made the? Okay, I
don't remember. One of us did.
Whatever, but I don't feel like it was a foul either, though. It was just like Johnny Evans was just kind of flopping around, and he happened to run into somebody. He wasn't like boxed out, man. That like
and he kind of was boxed out, but that's always been a part of corners. You have a big guy stand in the way. Go around me. You have to go around me.
Well, that's what I mean. I'm not saying he was like he wasn't bear hugged down.
Yeah, he wasn't bear hugged.
Like literally.
Now, towards the end, Big Gabby did put arms on him, but that was only after Johnny Evans also put arms on Big Gabby, and it was like one of those. Okay, you guys fouled each other.
Yeah, we're gonna just.
So what? And Johnny Evans was still standing up to have the ball deflect off of him and into the goal. So I don't know. I don't understand what anyone's talking about with anything. I don't see how that's a goal. I am starting to get. We like to talk all the time about Klopp gets this, Arteta gets this. Oh, he's just complaining about the refs. They always complain about the refs when everything's going to go their way. All Erik ten Hag seems to do is complain about the refs or throw his players under the bus. The whole Jadon Sancho thing is insane.
I actually didn't look into that one because I'm kind of tired of Ten Hag rolling his players at this point. What aren't you happy about at this point? Or what are you happy at this point?
Well, I don't know what you would be happy about. Right now, life is not looking good for you guys. 5 goals for, 7 goals conceded, -2. I think the way they played, they would have been happy with a draw.
Probably.
I think the way Arsenal played, I still want to see what Arsenal's building to.
Sure.
There was a lot of times where we got the ball into the final third and then stopped. That break with Odie was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Then we seem to get it into the final third and then stop and then try to build a play off of that. And I don't know if we are. I don't know. City seems to do this a lot. They did this last year. There was a lot of games early on. City was playing differently. They hadn't had a true number 9 in a while. There's a lot of games early on where they seem to just let other teams like take advantage of them.
Mm-hmm.
Not even take advantage, but let other teams have more possession than you're used to City letting them have. They slowed down. They try to work the ball one way or the other, and then you're thinking at halftime, "Oh my God, it's still even," or they're still within a goal.
Right.
Who knows what's going to happen? And then 60th minute happens, and suddenly it's 3 or 4-1 City. I don't know if Arsenal's trying to build to that. I don't know if that's what Arteta's trying to do. I don't know if he's trying to take advantage of early season where not everyone's firing on all cylinders to try to work out exactly what we want to be.
Yeah.
I also think, at one point, Bukayo Saka had a wonderful ball that he just kicked it right out of Onana. I don't know if he actually expected the ball to be there, but he
Probably
did.
not.
And then Kai Havertz had a miss. And again, I'm not hating on him, but he did. He had a miss. And if even one of those chances were changed, that Garnacho goal is looking like maybe an equalizer, not a game winner that got taken away. The expected goals was 0.9 to like 2.3 or something like that. Arsenal definitely had the lion's share of.
Yeah.
Anyone watching that match would have expected Arsenal to win. I think that's my point.
Well, that's what I was going to get at. Even if Garnacho scores that goal, I really don't think that United would have been able to hold Arsenal out for a draw or even to maintain the win.
Yeah.
So they're just. I mean, you had Harry Maguire come in, who the fans were jeering. I was sitting next to a couple United fans, and they're like, "Oh my God, Jesus, Harry Maguire is coming in!" And then the whole bar, which was Arsenal fans, happened to be cheering for it. And I'd seen a couple videos where Arsenal fans were cheering for Harry Maguire, and then they had Johnny Evans.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if this was 2015 Leicester, it would work out, but it's not. They're old, and they don't have that pace. So there was no way that they were going to keep out Arsenal from scoring again to keep, get a draw or a win.
Yet again, also, Reece Nelson comes on, and everything seems to change. We just look more dynamic and dangerous when Reece Nelson gets subbed on.
I think you actually look much better with Jesus on. Arsenal.
Jesus helped. Jesus definitely helped.
I think that once he gets work back in, Arsenal is going to be flying high again, more top notch, being able to get that high press. And I think maybe that's what Arteta is actually waiting for, is to have Jesus come back. Because I mean, Nketiah isn't Jesus. He's not going to press. He's more of an advancing forward, where he's going to run through the channels and try to get that through ball between the lines. He's not going to hold up play as much and try to invite body up defenders. It's just not his style of play.
Yeah.
But with Jesus, he's going to be able to come back, play the ball, more link up play. So I think they're just waiting for Jesus to come back and be able to not play normal Arsenal, but a better version of Arsenal than the last 4 matches.
Yep. And I think a decent amount of it is look at the Fulham match.
Yeah.
Because everyone wants to say, "Oh, let's start Trossard up top." We did not look like wanting to score when Trossard was up top. When he can come on with fresh legs, it seems to be different. Of course, Fulham, I thought, defended us very well. But I don't know. I think that this is also more damning of United than it is of Arsenal.
Sure.
Than it is Arsenal doing well. This is the best United has defended all year.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Onana still, he does not. Yes, he's very good with distribution. Absolutely. He does not have the shot stopping capabilities that De Gea had. I feel like we're going to get to score on him. I really do. And while De Gea was old, and maybe he wouldn't have saved it right now, that Declan Rice goal, Onana got a hand to it. He just wasn't strong enough.
mm-hmm. I think if it was De Gea's foot, that goal.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's true.
Oh, man.
All right, moving on. The PGMOL is having another tough week.
Most likely.
We don't really... I thought, again, we talked about this. I thought the Garnacho goal was done very well. It was quick. It was clean. The offside called back. Mm-hmm. However, there were some other...
glaring ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You want to talk about City? Well, I mean, you don't. Let's talk about City, because that one was... I'm not saying Fulham was going to win that match no matter what, but you chop off a goal and you feel a little bit different.
Well, if it comes down to goal difference at the end of the year and City wins by 1,
that's fair too.
Every goal matters.
Goal difference. Oh well, even for Fulham too. I think I had earmarked as relegated, but whatever, not the point. Or near the bottom.
Still, yeah. If a lot of times someone stays up around goal difference.
Yeah,
that's a big difference. It ended up not playing a big part last year, but it could have. Not necessarily with Fulham, but still, every goal matters. Oh, we lost 5-1 instead of 4-1. Yeah, well, that's -1 goals.
Yeah, right. But I don't understand how that was chopped off. And Mike Dean actually, I think it was Sky Sports had Mike Dean on, and he was saying how bad this call was, and it should have gone as an offsides because Akanji was impeding the view of the goalkeeper in an offside position, and Leno reacted later than he could have, able to see the ball. Well,
it is a textbook. It is textbook what impeding a goalkeeper is.
We've seen it happen last year. VAR called that back, and I'm not going to pick up I'm not going to remember what the last call was for that one, but we've seen it, and it should have been called. And why is City just why are we looking past that?
Yeah, and it should have been called no matter who it is. I don't understand how you don't call that one. I have no idea how you don't call that one.
Money's involved. Somebody betting. Oh, well, see, I'm replacing Woodsy for a half a moment because I know he'd be like...
That is true. Woodsy always says money. Conspiracies and all that. I always, never attribute to malice, but could be equally attributed to incompetence. And they're talking about the PGMOL. Same guys that just didn't draw lines last year because, it would have been a lot of lines. So we didn't care. I
think, honestly... VAR should be, and we've discussed that it should be an independent overseeing body. I want to hear what officials are talking about. I will pay for.
Well, that's what the mic'd up thing is. That's what the mic'd up thing is.
Do we actually get to hear it as they're going through?
Not during, but they released it after.
Well, that's
the Onana one. The Onana one was pretty damning.
Ooh, that one's bad. That one is real bad.
I don't even after listening to it. If you had, I don't know. Like I listened to it and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we're talking about everything, oh no, we're not. We don't give those. Like you guys already said, we don't give those. I'm like, we don't give what? He was like half a second late to the ball.
Well, even the guy
took the guy out.
Even the guy who was analyzing it was like, not the play overall, but the
Howard Webb.
Sure. He was like, I don't know. It almost like he talked himself out of it, and you could hear it too. Like he was like this close to giving a pen, And then it was like,
Mhm.
wait a minute, what? Why would I do this? And then he just flipped. It was like, nah, this isn't it. It's just a collision.
Yeah, oh, just a collision, whatever. I don't understand what's going on.
I don't either.
And of course, everyone's talking about the Garnacho thing because that was such a big deal. For me, that is exactly what should have been done.
Yeah, that was done.
You know, sometimes we overthink decisions. You know, you said we talked about it being a
independent governing body.
The PGML is supposed to be independent. And if we create no, you can shake your head at that, but if we create another independent thing, we're just gonna right back to where they are, and like they're gonna have the same relationship as the PGMOL has in 10 years.
That's fine. Then we'll change it in 10 more years.
No, we can't create a truly independent thing. It's already supposed to be independent. My thing is, I think that the video ref, maybe within reason, but the video ref should be able to take 1 or 2 calls a game, especially the impactful ones, and just be like, no, you got it wrong. Not go look at the screen. Be like, nope, I'm watching video from 3 angles and you didn't, and you got it wrong, and the call needs to be overturned. Well, that's how baseball and football does it.
Yeah.
You throw a challenge flag, and someone who's not there will tell the umpire, you got it right or you got it wrong. Not, well, you know, the referee's going to go over and look at it on the screen. Because that adds time.
Mm-hmm.
And people get scared that they're not going to.
They're getting berated right there by.
Yeah. And they're not going to overturn
fans.
it. Now I look like an idiot because I asked them not to overturn it.
Right. Well, so the weird thing is, what match was it where, was it Simon Hooper walked over and he was like, hey, what image, what am I looking at? What image am I looking at? Well, and the VAR and the assistant VAR person were like, we're looking at this, and this. Like, well, you're the ref on the field. Shouldn't you? What I'm trying to get to is I feel like they're leading him to making the conclusion that they're trying to get anyway. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Instead of the on-field official making his own conclusion. Like they're just leading the horse to water. Whether he drinks or not is, you know, his choice. But it doesn't feel like the on-field official is actually, you know, making his own decisions.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't like talking about this anymore. It kind of sucks. It's really kind of a damper, to be honest. Like, I'm tired. I want 1 week. At least this week we didn't get any red cards. There's that. So that we broke the streak. Wait, hold on. Is that factual? Now I need to look before I throw this statement out.
Doesn't feel right.
That there wasn't a red card?
Yeah.
Oh, I need to go to Google because that'll just happen immediately. Oh, 6 searches. No red cards this week. Good job. Good job, everybody.
But should there have been a red card? Oh, another thing I was going to bring up. I knew there's something else. Eric Ten Hag yelled about VAR not doing their job. Eddie Nketiah got kicked in the head at one point.
Oh, yeah, whatever. I noticed.
Didn't even get looked at. Looked at.
No.
Also, and this got lost as well. But can someone explain to me how Bukayo Saka gets fouled?
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal win a free kick.
Yeah.
And Saka gets a yellow?
Sure. That makes sense.
That one was odd to me. One was very, very odd to me.
Would you have rather had the red card of getting Nketiah kicked in the head or the no yellow for Bukayo?
I will know when I know how many yellows Bukayo has in like 5 or 10 matches.
I was thinking the same thing.
Honestly, right now, though, it's a red. And I'll tell you why it's a red. I have seen so many Arsenal players in the past 5 years sent off for less than that.
Yeah.
And it's like he literally studs to the head. I get he was trying to play the ball, but that's either dangerous or it's not. And what really annoys me is if he had rolled on the ground and gone, oh, my head, look at it. Then they would have taken a look at it.
Probably.
Because they didn't. I guess the VAR guy's like, yeah, no, all right. Hey, can I get a beer? Yeah, no, there's nothing going on. They're in the middle of the field. Like I that's what the VAR guy's supposed to do is catch shit like that. It was obvious on the replay. How can I, half drunk, standing in a bar with 500 people trying to talk to me at once, see that he kicked him in the head, but you can't when it's your job?
Well, when you're full cupped, then.
All right, let's move on to happy things.
Yay, happy things.
Matt Turner has a clean sheet in the Premier League.
USA.
And it came at the bridge, and it was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
You said your biggest observation is...
Oh, that Manchester. See, look at that.
Chelsea's the new Arsenal?
Chelsea's the new Arsenal.
They always try to walk it in?
Oh, well, that is true. But they don't finish, Chelsea. I don't think that they are very one-dimensional right now. They don't know what they have, which makes sense because you signed an entirely new squad. 2% chemistry right now. Yeah. And they're flailing about. Like at the end of that match, it just seemed like let's dribble it into the box and see what happens. See if we can get a PK. And that was it. It was boring. Honestly,
yeah. There seemed to be no take on play. There seemed to be nothing.
No, it was one-on-one play, and then if you could beat the man, then we'll cross it in the box. Which they don't have a tall, big guy to even bother, like an Awani. If Awani was in there, he'd probably be successful. I feel like, oh wait, they have Lukaku, who they sold off to was it Roma?
Yeah,
but again, they're playing against their own system. I feel like they're still built to dribble it in the box, chip it into the back post, and hope a big guy's there. And they don't have that kind of style anymore.
Well, and I'm not going to hate on Poch just for the sake of hating on Poch, although he's making it real easy.
I actually like Poch, and I think he's a good manager. But
I don't know if he's a good manager.
I think he's a good manager.
Look at who he had on that Spurs team.
Hold on, I want to look at that PSG team.
Lucas Moura.
Yeah, he's all right.
A prime Harry Kane.
He's all right.
Lucas Moura was playing out of his mind those couple seasons ago.
I don't know. Harry Kane's all
prime
right.
Harry Kane. A very, very good Heung-min Son.
Yeah.
And they just did what they did. Tottenham, from an attacking point of view, did not change pre or post Pochettino until Conte came in and said, let's just try to counterattack everything.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. It's just I think they still need to gel, and I think they need to take whatever chapter Steve Cooper had with Forrest last season, and he needs to read that because. Not even Poch.
Season with Forrest last season.
Hold on, not even Poch needs to read it. It's the fans of Chelsea that need to read it realistically.
The fans of Chelsea do not need to read a "we barely stayed up" story to make themselves feel.
Well, I think it would be
spent $1 billion.
Well,
in a year.
Well, then. Hold on, sorry, I'm preoccupied looking up.
I mean, maybe Rome wasn't built in a day, but I don't know what else you say. It ain't looking good. Chelsea currently sit exactly where they sat last year, at 12th.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they've played 4 and have 4 points. Well, you know what we say. You need a point per game to not get relegated, so...
They're doing good.
Doing good there. Chelsea sit above Fulham and Newcastle.
That's not good enough. I mean, obviously. This Chelsea squad, they're an enigma wrapped in a milk stain. I don't get it.
Conor Gallagher starting in the midfield. First of all, why did Enzo? And again, I get it. It probably wasn't a 3-4-2-1 or a 3-4-3. Why is Enzo starting that high up and Gallagher starting that far back? Why is Gallagher starting?
That one's a better question. I actually don't mind Enzo starting up. A lot of his balls that he played to the wide spaces were actually really good balls.
To who? Yeah, he will go wide. He will go wide. And you know where that's really good? On the Argentina national team. When you have McAllister and Messi and all these guys who love to take the ball wide and bring it back in. And who does Chelsea have that loves to do that?
Raheem Sterling.
He doesn't love to bring it back in. He loves to take the ball wide. He loves to stop, and then he loves to kick it back to the high point in the middle of the field.
Have you watched Raheem Sterling? That's all he does now is dribble it into the box. He's got the most touches of any Premier League player in the box.
Yeah. Yes. You know who would have the most touches of any Premier League player in the box if they played? What? It would be me, because everyone would be like, no, dude, just wait. Wait, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be on goal. It doesn't matter what's happening. It's not going to be on goal.
Mm.
You know, he had that. Who did Chelsea play before this?
They won, but I can't remember. Hold on. 2.5 seconds.
Luton. It was Luton Town.
See, I told you they won.
It's 3-0 against Luton Town. The first goal, and yeah, Raheem Sterling dribbled that through the box. That was the most championship level defending I've seen in a Premier League in a long fucking time.
They're not.
That was bad. But Raheem Sterling dribbled it through the box and scored.
I'm just telling you that's what he does. I'm not saying it's good. As all he's looking for is a penalty, which I'm not saying is good. Or he's trying to bait defenders to get him to bite.
Nicholas Jackson this year for Chelsea. He is
at his best.
Started as a striker. He's 22 years old from Senegal. Give him the benefit of the doubt. He has 1 goal, 4 starts, 3 yellow cards, and has played 350 minutes.
What I say earlier was they're just a young squad. I know they made a bunch of big, expensive signatures, signatures, whatever.
Signings. There you go.
Hey. Today was a rough day. Anyway, which you never asked about, so now I'm disappointed. Anyway,
I'm sorry, man.
It's okay. I know
it was a rough day for me too. Also, I'm sick. Also, Raheem Sterling's 28.
Yes.
Also, Thiago Silva is literally 47 years
old. He's as old as I feel, or look, whatever.
No, he's older.
Well, man, I don't even know what point I was trying to make at this point. Chelsea's just a young squad that they don't have a lot of gel together, and they're playing a style that doesn't fit them. So none of this makes any sense for them. And the fact that they're getting points against teams other than who the heck they play. I just forgot who they played.
Luton. They won against Luton.
Forest.
They lost against Forest. Who else have they played?
I think they lost against somebody else too.
Yeah. They lost against West Ham. They drew Liverpool to start the season.
There you go. And that's where everybody thought
Liverpool's very weird.
Yeah.
No. That's because Liverpool and Chelsea draw. They've drawn. No, seriously, they've drawn like 9 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first match in the last 4 that had at least scored goals. Before then, they were all 0-0.
Mm-hmm.
Even last year.
Could you imagine placing that bet? Like an exact score. And it's, the last few have been 0-0 and you just nail it.
Yeah.
Do the odds even pay out at that point because they just know it's going to be 0-0?
I have no idea.
That's fair enough.
Probably not. Not.
It's an exact score. It's still pretty hard to guess.
Can you name the 2 teams in the Premier League that have 0 points so far?
Luton Town.
In fairness, both of them have played 1 less match.
Luton Town.
Than everyone else. And?
Whoever Luton Town was supposed to play, Burnley.
Burnley has gone over. In
Yeah,
fairness to Burnley, they have played City, Villa, and Angeball Postecoglou's Tottenham.
They've played tough teams. And
that is pretty tough. Luton Town, on the other hand,
they've also played some tough.
Chelsea, Bournemouth. No, not Bournemouth. Where'd you go? Come here. They have played Chelsea, Brighton, and West Ham. So yeah, two tough teams in Chelsea. Speaking of, that leads me into another segue I want to talk about before we get to Brighton Newcastle.
Jump in.
How good have West Ham looked?
Dude, we talked about that last week too. Well, I saw
really, really good.
Yeah, Woodsy and I talked about that, and I had said,
I was here last week. No, I wasn't. Oh my god, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
It's okay. I know time gets.
What? Listen, we'll have a therapy session after this.
Okay, cool. For who? Me or you, or for both?
Both.
Ah, good joint therapy sessions.
I'll tell you how bad my life is. You'll realize your life isn't that bad. I'll tell you how bad your life is. You'll realize my life isn't that bad. That's how it works, right?
Wait, you're going to tell me how bad my life is, and then...
Yeah, no. People do bad lives. At the end of it, we'll realize we don't have bad lives. I don't know. Something. I'm not a therapist. I'm just trying.
Look at that. We've almost got there anyway on live.
Yeah. Well, and you're not paying for it, so you get what you get.
Well, that's not true. I'm paying for this program.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp, if you want to. We'll
I think they legally owe us $5 now.
You think so? Or at least one free session.
One free session. Could you imagine that? Yeah, I'd like to do a sponsorship deal. Oh, yeah, really? Yeah. So what kind of payment structure thing? Once a week I shout you out, and once a week you listen to me talk about my problems.
Honestly, I think that's a good deal.
Maybe. Not for them. For us, definitely.
I was going to say for us. Oh, well, you want to talk about West Ham. Just go ahead. Give us your view of West Ham.
Yeah, 3-1 win at Brighton. I think that's the one that really, and that's probably what you guys talked about last week.
Yeah, we definitely did. But
which, before the Newcastle game, I would have gone, you know what, maybe Brighton doesn't have it. And after that, I'm going, you know what, I really think West Ham have it.
Yeah.
They completely rebuilt that midfield with the money that they got for Declan Rice. It was very smart.
Yep.
They look very good.
Yep. They're definitely coming
out. I like it. David Moyes, football genius.
No, we're not talking that far yet. But I will say
around long enough.
That doesn't mean you're smart.
Or hey, you try to replace Fergie, right?
I'm not saying I want to either. I'm just saying that just because you've been around a long time doesn't mean that you're a genius. What I'm saying is that their front office and whoever they went out and got for the Declan Rice money should be the guy that gets pats on the back, which I'm surprised you didn't go with immediately because
I was going to say you finally come around.
Yes.
You finally come around. So proud of you.
Thank you. It only took like 6 months, but whatever.
Hey, for what it's worth, James Ward-Prowse. You get money for winning that, sure, but I think we all knew how good he was.
Yeah, I think the problem was the fact he played on a bad team, and they needed him to do everything on a bad team. So once he actually doesn't have to do everything on a decent squad, then you can actually utilize him for what he's worth. And the guy can score, not just free kicks. He can actually get in the box and score.
Yeah, he really can. He's just also the best at free kicks.
Well, the whip on his ball is the shape that he puts on it is so awesome to watch. I mean, like Ronaldinho-esque, Beckham-esque.
So, moving on to Brighton Newcastle.
I didn't unfortunately get to finish the whole match, but I did watch most of it enough to.
This is such a Brighton win. The expected goals are almost the same. It's like 1.32 to 1.22 or something like that. And Brighton get a hat trick from this 18-year-old kid that no one's ever heard of.
Mm-hmm.
This one's from Ireland. His name's Evan Ferguson, so I guess you heard of him now. It's an absolutely solid team win.
Yeah.
And you look at the match ratings. Ferguson's got a 9.7, as you do with a hat trick.
Yeah, right.
Matoma's got 7.9. Marsh's got a 7. Gross has got a 7.4. Gilmore's got a 7.8. And then you
Everybody's
look at Newcastle, Almiron 6.7, Isak 6.8, Tonali 6.6,
he got
Clinton
subbed off.
6.4, Target with a 5.8, Burn with a 5.2. Like, they make teams play down. Especially at the Amex, they make teams play down.
Down as in like
worse than what they would be.
right. I don't want to get people confused with down as in like Brighton is a bad team playing down to their level. It's Brighton is dominant in that whoever they're playing
they force
against,
you into mistakes.
That's what I'm trying to get at. A long-winded way of that. Well, that's what
one of the worst matches I saw Arsenal play last year was against Brighton.
Well, yeah.
One of the worst matches I've seen Newcastle play in the last 2 years was against Brighton.
Yeah.
You know, they
I don't know what's
really,
up with
really
this.
good at doing that.
I don't know what's up with this Newcastle squad, though. Like, is it the loftier expectations?
Tonali is not actually Andros Pirlo reincarnated.
Well, he's Italian, though.
He is Italian, and he's got a big nose. And he does kick a ball with his feet.
You know who? So when Tonali always gets shown, I always think it's Adam Driver. Yeah, look it up now.
I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it.
It's the long black hair, and some of his facial features actually look like Adam Driver. If Adam Driver played soccer and was Italian.
Remember Brighton's 6-0 win against Wolves last year?
Do I remember it? Yeah.
Yeah. 1-0 win against United. God, they're good for some shockers, though. That 5-1 loss against Everton.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
And then to follow it up with a 3-0 win against Arsenal at the Emirates.
Yeah, that
was a bad day. Did not like that day. Very bad day.
Went and drowned yourself in some ramen. Not likely.
No, it was a boot day. It was a boot day. Oh yeah, bad day.
Oh dear.
I don't know. Brighton's.
If you look back, Newcastle did start off slow. However, they picked up points. They're not drawing as much as they did at the beginning of the season as they are currently.
Well, look at the front three. All right. Well, all right. So first of all, that was Newcastle's biggest strength last year. They knew how to get a draw.
Yes.
And there is an art form to always getting a draw.
And their defense.
The way they played against Emirates, against Arsenal, they knew how to go and get a draw. The way they played up against City, that first match, that 3-3 draw.
Yep.
That, they know how to play for a draw.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a very Eddie Howe ball. You had to learn that with one. You do. You can take those on.
I had a thought at that point, but I was just thinking, like, are they playing more open for the wins instead of playing more conservative for draws? You know what I mean?
Potentially. I think the issue right now is Colin Wilson's on the bench now and Isak's starting. And again, Isak had a very good couple of matches to start, but I'm not sold on him. Yeah, he's got a lot of raw talent. So does everyone who starts in the Prem. Pretty much has good raw talent.
That's true.
When Newcastle went on that incredible stretch of games, including that 3-3 draw against City, Almiron was a man possessed.
Joe Linton was playing extremely well. They were getting a lot of.
Was playing incredibly well.
He still plays incredibly well, but I know what you're saying. He's not playing at that level. They were getting players to play above their level, and currently they're kind of playing below or at their level, and it's just not panning out.
Well, and that's the thing. If you're a Newcastle fan, if you're Eddie Howe, if you're the Saudi Public Investment Fund, you really hope they're playing below their level. But the fear is, are they playing at their level? You know. And again, Gordon is starting. Gordon and Gallagher, they're identical in my mind. I don't know why they exist. I don't know why they start. They're just these lanky English blonde boys that I don't understand why they're starting. They're the reason why I think maybe the English tax isn't gone, but they're taxing good football instead of making players cost more.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe they need to shake something up. They're also hurting for Sven Botman. He's out. He was out.
I know,
pretty
but
much a
Sven
good
Botman
trade.
should not make a backline of Shard, Trippier, and Target, or however you say his name.
It's Target. You gotta enunciate that. No,
Target.
Target.
I'm an American. It's
Target.
Target.
At least
Target.
enunciate the double T as a T.
Target.
Yeah.
Target. But we have a long history of me not saying names correctly.
Oh, that's true too. Me too.
Yeah,
well, you say the Sven Botman.
Burn was definitely the worst, but Target definitely not good. Not good. No. I don't know.
I think the Sven Botman thing is actually bigger than what you're making a deal of it about. I say that because Tyrone Mings, if you're the heart of your defense and you're out, then your replacement's definitely not going to be as good, and who's going to pick up that voice? And I think that's where they're struggling. Well, that's where that was the struggle today. Having to start Fabian Schär. I don't think that's a very good. And Target. I think just
people were saying Fabian Schär's praises last year.
Stop.
They were. I think the problem is Longstaff and Colin Wilson come on and get a goal, an assist and a goal respectively. They have to come off the bench.
Yeah.
Because Tonali has to start over Longstaff, and Colin Wilson doesn't get a start because Gordon has to be in there. You know, I know Colin Wilson doesn't have the legs, but I wonder how much of it could have been helped by having two at the front.
Maybe. I mean, they're not scoring.
I know that doesn't exist anymore. I know the 4-4-2 was a thing of the past and outdated, and I totally get it. But you got to play the formation that gets your best players on the field. And I think that's something else that a lot of people, that was the thing that someone like City struggled with last year, who are my best players. That's something that Unai Emery always does so well for his teams. He knows who his best players are.
Yeah.
He may not necessarily get them to play the best way, although I think he's figured that out, especially with Villa. But he knows who his best players are.
Yeah.
Eddie Howe, for a long time, I would always argue, knew who his best players were. But right now, I don't know if he actually knows who his best players are on the team or if he's trying to play guys up.
I think it's a bit of both. I think he's hoping for some of the success that he had last season with the players that he had. He's giving them a longer leash, and it's kind of hurting him in the beginning. But again, it's only the beginning. They could go on that December stretch, that January stretch, and just kill it.
I don't know why Harvey Barnes is starting behind Anthony Gordon.
That one's a little perplexing to me. I agree with that one. It's not like he's injured. I think Harvey Barnes is a much better upgrade than Gordon. I do still like Gordon as much.
He came on with 16 minutes to play. But right now, Newcastle is sitting 4 played, goal differential of 0, and 3 points.
Yeah. Not great.
Not
a great start that they were looking for.
No. They have 1 win.
Yep.
That hot start against Villa, where everyone thought, holy crap, turns out Villa just, you lose Tyrone Mings, they didn't know what to do. Villa's come back and played much better.
Between that
Liverpool match, we didn't really talk about it, and like you said, you're going to talk about it in the Villa. Here's just my 2 cents for that Liverpool match. That looked like Liverpool at Anfield in the past several years. That was scary. That was very scary. A lot of teams struggle against that team right now. Yep. A lot of teams struggle against that team.
I think I was hoping a little bit more because Villa typically they don't play bad against Liverpool at Anfield. They'll lose, but they don't play as bad as they did. And that was my problem. Was they? I'll smallly get into it. Their play style was weird. We'll play up high, but we won't press, which was confusing to me.
Yeah, I don't understand why you chose to play up high when you wouldn't press. I understand why you wouldn't press. I would not press this Liverpool team. In fact, right now, I'm a little bit scared if Arsenal try to press this Liverpool team.
I would only press Matip and Gomez. Because when they did, look at the opportunity that Diaby had. They pressed Gomez and he fell over.
True.
So
That is true.
that was a little confusing on me, but I'll talk about it in the middle. So we'll move on
All
to something
right.
else.
So, match day 3, because we didn't go over this. Match day 3 prediction results. I came in with a solid 3 points. We did that. Not good. Aaron had 7. Woodsy had 11. Got a little bit of redemption match day 4. I had 8 points.
Yep.
And Woodsy and you both had 7.
Yep.
Total so far on the season. So, reminder for everybody. The way predictions work, you get 1 point for the correct outcome, 3 points for the correct outcome, and the correct score. Now, Aaron and I both got 3 points from both having Arsenal 3-1 against United. That
yeah.
late Jay-Z goal.
That was so clutch.
Anyway, totals are Woodsy in the lead with 18, Aaron 4 points behind with 14, and me 3 points behind him in the relegation zone. Do I get kicked off the pod?
Yes. No.
Oh,
You're the only articulate one. Are you kidding me? You wouldn't get kicked off.
Don't know who's going to edit for you guys. Sorry.
No, you'll just be in the background.
No.
You just won't be on the pod.
If I'm not playing, then I'm not participating. I'll be one of those. I'll ask for a holdout. I'll hit up Romano.
Okay.
Hey, Fab, I want out. I'm not getting playing time anymore.
Did you see the Instagram post that he put out was on
the
how
whole players will talk to him?
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense.
How else would he get any of the information that he does?
I love the one where, I forget who it was, but he was finally getting the move to the team he wanted to go to, and he's like, yeah, he's been rejecting a lot of teams, including, like, Trabzor. And the player responded, like, my wife didn't even know about that one. That is solid. All right, let's get into true false.
Cool, because I don't have any. But I'll think of something on the fly again. Don't you worry.
Okay, well, I'm going to make you go first.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to make you go first.
I'm going to say true, false. Evan Ferguson will come in second in the Golden Boot.
False.
Okay.
False. I would love it to be true.
Who would be your second?
Well, Heung-min Son seems to have found his base again.
They're playing him in a more advanced role.
If Ange Ball keeps up, would not be surprised if he's second. At this point, if anyone challenges Holland, I'd be surprised.
Fair enough.
That's why I said second. I wouldn't be surprised if he challenges. At this point, I'd be surprised if anyone challenges Holland. But comfortably in second, Son. And then I think when you find some, I think Darwin Nunez, as much as it hurts me, he could really start to get he could.
He could have had 2 goals in the Villa match too. He just doinked the post in the crossbar every time.
Yep,
that's his problem. He gets into these great scoring opportunities and these great XG opportunities, but he just somehow doesn't find a way to bury them. It's incredible.
Yep. It is incredible. It's incredible how much he chooses to miss. Mohamed Salah, I could see in second.
That's true.
I could see if right now it looks like.
Well, he's going to get sold.
It looks like Marcus Rashford might be the only one to get goals for United.
But that doesn't mean that's going to work out well. You still have to set up goals.
I don't know. 20. I could see him getting 20 or 30. And I think you're going to see
a 22 ballpark for sure.
I think you're going to see a lot of more spread out. I think you're going to have an incredibly large gap in Golden Boot this year because Holland's going to score 30 plus.
True.
And I don't think anyone else is going to score more than maybe even 25 because a lot of teams are trying to play a more balanced type of ball. Now, if Holland gets injured, then who the heck knows? But that's where I'm at with that.
That's where I figured you were going to go with it.
All right. Oh, man, there's so many places to go with this.
Well, pick one.
West Ham finish in a European spot.
False. I'm holding out hope that Villa's still going to get that 7th position. And to be like Villa.
All right, so let's do City,
Sure.
Arsenal,
Yeah,
Liverpool,
for sure. Brighton.
Brighton.
Uh,
I'm not going to put any names in your mouth
no, that's
apart
fine.
from the obvious.
Newcastle.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Probably United somehow finds their way in a European position,
And
and
then
then
the
Villa.
seventh would be Villa.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's not right now. That's not what I'm saying.
Well, again, it's only 4 matches in,
True.
and
I think West Ham strengthened very, very well, and
I
I
don't
think
disagree with
that
it.
I think teams like United could look very good if Højlund actually can play the way he played against Arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, United just doesn't look that good to me.
Well, that's why I put him in the European position and not,
Anyway, hit me.
Ange wins Manager of the Year.
False. Only
Pep's
because
still
I
alive.
think
No,
I think I honestly because I think all right. So I'll be completely honest. If I'm not an Arsenal fan, true.
fair enough.
And it's not because I don't want a Spurs coach to win Manager of the Year. It's because I think Arsenal can finally pip City, and if they do, Arteta will win Manager of the Year. If someone manages to beat City, that manager will win Manager of the Year.
Oh, that's
If
fair.
City wins the league, I would go true. Ange wins.
Fair enough.
It drives me crazy. I like the guy a lot,
He seems.
and of course, I like Madison a lot.
Me too.
So both of them going to Spurs.
Hurt
I was down on Ange to start, but the only reason I was down on Ange is because the people who were like, "Oh my god, he's gonna do all these wonderful things." I was like, I don't know.
Well, let's slow ball this here.
Yeah, I mean, look at all the things he did. Like Steven Gerrard did the same things in the Scottish League.
Mm-hmm.
He's awful. He did a lot of good things with Australian football. Good for you. That's good. And I don't have anything against him, but you got to prove it. Right now, he's proving it, but he's a new guy with a Spurs team that's playing completely different from the way they used to play. Let's see if that stays the same.
Yep. Fair enough.
If they're still playing this well, not even points-wise, because let's be honest, no, they're not saying it's second.
No.
And they're not saying it's second because they don't have the depth. But if they continue to play this well for the rest of the year, it's going to be really, really hard to not pick him for Manager of the Year. And the thing is, I also said this at the beer garden. I'm not scared of Tottenham because Daniel Levy will fuck it up.
That is true.
And honestly, if anything ever happens to Arteta, let's go get him Ange Postecoglou. He seems to be a really smart guy.
Why not?
Oh God, the managers that we have in the Prem. Everyone talks about the players. Pep and Klopp and Arteta and Unai and Eddie Howe.
Mm-hmm.
And Ange now and Robert De Zerbi.
We had
Graham Potter.
We had Lopetegui at one hot moment.
One hot moment.
One hot moment. And then they couldn't afford to bring players
guys like Tuchel and Conte and Mourinho. Of course, Mourinho's won several times, and so is Conte. But Tuchel is getting chased out. You got some really, really good managers.
Yep. I mean,
and
that's
we
why
also have Eric Ten Hag.
And then Eric Ten Hag. I think that's what makes this the Premier League a lot more special this year. I think a lot more teams are going to be closer together again, like we had last season. All
right.
I don't have a third one, so don't even bother. And we're at an hour.
But I still have to give you my second.
Oh, really? I thought you already did.
Yeah. Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry. Rip it.
By the end of the year, Fabio Vieira is going to be starting over Kai Havertz in Arsenal's midfield.
That's a good question. Vieira has looked pretty good off the bench so far. I think I want to see how he's probably going to start in. I don't know. I was going to say he'll definitely start in cup matches. I don't know if he's going to start in UCL matches. I think if Kai bombs it in If he gets 007, yes.
He won't get 007. We got Everton when we get back from the break. He won't get 007.
No, stop. You don't win at Everton.
That's a good thing it's at home.
Is it? I know it's.
Wait, I don't know. I just really want it to be at home now. You're scaring me.
I don't think it is. It's not. It's at Goodison.
We'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Just get the angst out of the way now. All right. So to answer your question,
the entire city of Liverpool can fuck off. All right.
I still think it's false.
Thank you for the Beatles. Now fuck off.
I think it's false. They're gonna try to ride out Kai for the season, and if it doesn't happen to work, if it doesn't happen to work, then they might push for somebody else, and then make Kai depth. It could be like a Nicolas Pepe kind of thing.
Maybe. I think Fabio's is going to look so good off the bench that they may just keep him like that. I mean, Trossard too. Trossard can't get a starting spot right now.
Yeah.
Trossard can't get a starting spot. Nelson can't get a starting spot. Emile Smith-Rowe is talking about being a one-club player. It's like, dude, that's fine, but you might be the kit man by the time this is over. And I like Emile Smith-Rowe a lot. I love ESR. I will sing his praises, but I don't know where he gets in.
I was hoping he would go to Villa, pay the 30 or whatever they were trying to pay him.
Just like the small shin guards. You can trick yourself into thinking that Grealish is back.
Shut up, man. Let me live my life. I'm actually wearing a Grealish jersey right now, too.
I would have cried.
It's that W88 kit.
There you go. That is our show. Next week, all three of us will be here, hopefully. Then you, Woodsy. We have a special international break episode.
Yeah, we do.
We're going to be ranking all the kits. All the kits are finally out.
Tier Zoo.
Here we go. Tier Zoo. All the away kits are in the F tier. Every single one of them is
pretty much. Honestly, there's one that I like. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
The Liverpool green knockoff of their old jersey is like a top 3 away kit this year. It's bad.
Yeah, I mean,
we are in dire straits.
I didn't think that.
Arsenal and Man United are fighting it out for worst away kit.
There's a third one. Oh, Everton. Everton's pretty bad too.
Chelsea just did blue again.
Well, you know. Why? Oh, actually, I like West Ham's. Just the all white and then the white badge.
I know, but it's not.
I'm not saying it's flashing. I'm just saying it's clean.
Everton's is bad.
Yeah.
You know why Everton's is really bad? Because they're afraid to change the color of the badge. They won't change the color. And therefore, it looks awful. That's one of the nice things about the new Villa badge. While I was a lamppost guy, the circle is always going to be the back color of the jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks good, but you still pop. Like it's a well-thought-out logo from that point of view.
Yes.
We'll get into it later. Burnley just remind me of Watford.
That's what I thought. I was looking at pictures for the thumbnail, and I go, these are Watford pictures. What is going on? And then I look at it again, I go, no, they're not.
Brighton is bizarro. What if we were green instead of blue? What if instead of blue and white we were green and black?
Well, Wolves did that too. I was watching a game. I had a side-by-side. I had Liverpool on one side, and then I had Wolves on the other side, and I thought I was watching 2 Liverpool matches. Because Liverpool was wearing red, and so was Wolves. I was like, what's going on?
And Arsenal are doing their best. Let's try to have our generation's bruised banana. You failed.
Yeah.
You failed really bad.
That one's pretty tough.
Anyway, we'll get into it. I don't like Bournemouth's either.
I don't like many.
Weird textures going on. Brentford's looks awful. Chelsea's just a dark version of their home kit. It's their home kit on night mode. That's what it is. Palace's looks bad. Fulham's looks awful. City's is boring at best. Luton Town is the perfect example of a championship team.
I gotta find it. Hold on. Where the heck are they?
Nottingham Forest is bad. Whatever. Anyway, before we stretch this too long, that will all be next week. That was some quick opinions. We have 60 kits in total. That's a kit a minute. We gotta go quick.
We could do it.
That is a kit a minute.
Woodsy, if you're listening,
Kit a minute.
Stick to the timetable.
Stick to the timetable. Also, we're gonna have to print. We're gonna have to get all those screenshotted beforehand. So
Okay, I can do that.
hey, Woodsy, if you're listening, I think you're getting married this weekend.
I'm not sure.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, my dude.
You're
And your
almost
future
done.
wife. Is it Allie?
And I don't mean done like, oh, marriage is horrible. I mean, like, I know what it's like to get married. You're almost done with all this BS. And with that, Aaron and I are going to have our therapy session. Maybe we'll call Woodsy up, see what's going on with his life. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for listening. Links for anything that you could be interested in, whether it's the YouTube channel, our podcast links, our social media links, everything's in the description below. Thank you very much for listening.